Hi everyone, this is Erin from Sandpaper Road, and welcome to the Craft Outfitting Product Showcase for pattern number 1. You start with several sheets of your own 12 by 12 colored cardstock in solid colors. The pattern is very specific of how many pieces you'll need and advice for color choices. You'll also need several sheets of 8.5 by 11 white 110-pound cardstock for stamping and card bases. Now, in addition, we use pattern paper, and you can use a stack of your own, or you can use a combination of loose sheets, single sheets, but the pattern is specific and it calls for words paper, and I just wrote words on the back of the piece I chose. Even though it had a little piece nipped out of the top, it was okay. I also chose another piece. It called for a picture paper, and the pattern explains that we'll be using some fussing cutting out of this and also some backgrounds. I actually chose my picture paper from the Little Mister stack, which is a baby stack. Even though I wanted to work on some wedding pages and cards, I thought that would be fitting. And then for the rest of the choices, we use the Sandpaper Road formula to choose the rest of our pattern paper. So the Sandpaper Road formula is 2 of the same, and we just label them the same. These are from that wedding stack. This is a different plain. Number 1, it's different from the others and relatively plain. We also have a different plain number 2, relatively plain and different from that first different plain. And then 2 that are crazy busy patterns. I just always call them off the chain 1 and off the chain 2. And that's it. That's how you pick your patterns. You pick your patterns and your cardstock just from what you already have. And in one sitting, by following the pattern, you end up with 12 A2 size top folding cards. Isn't that amazing? And don't worry if you're not a card maker. The fun thing about craft outfitting is you don't even realize that you're making cards. You're just cutting paper. You also end up with 4 12 by 12 full-size scrapbook page layouts. 1 that's a double page spread and 2 that are individual 12 by 12 layouts. Now again, you can customize it obviously with your pictures, but the majority of the work is done for you. This is not a sketch sheet. This is not a one-sheet wonder. All those things are amazing and great, but this is something that is like old-fashioned scrapbooking, old-fashioned card making. You follow a pattern. Imagine if you did this same pattern with Christmas paper. Now, I have fewer than 12 cards because I've given some away, but I ended up with the same exact pattern just in Christmas paper. 4 12 by 12 scrapbook pages and 12 cards. And even though the patterns look obviously similar because they're the same pattern, somehow they still look a little bit different when you change the paper. Imagine if you needed some baby paper. Maybe you wanted to, that looks like it's flipped around. It was. But imagine if you were making somebody a baby album or yourself a baby album. You could use baby paper, and in one sitting, just starting with a few sheets of cardstock, you'd end up with 4 layouts and 12 cards. You could give those cards as baby thank you card gifts for showers or just for announcements, shower gifts. The possibilities are just endless. It just all depends on what you have in your stash and you're willing to share in the pattern. It's really amazing. And you have such a sense of accomplishment when you get done. You're like, man, I started with stuff I already had. It's been sitting on the shelf, and I actually end up with actual things I've wanted to get done. What if you used birthday paper or kid paper to work on your child's school year's album? You could change these into birthday cards, birthday pages, party pages, everyday pages, and of course I only have 1 birthday card left over. I've been giving them away. But just imagine having all of that on hand. And just think, by using these patterns, if you have 5 patterns, just 5 craft outfitting patterns will yield you 20 12 by 12 scrapbook layouts and 60 cards. Now that is amazing. So stay tuned in 2019 where these patterns will become available. Check out the description box below for details for pattern 1 and visit sandpaperroad.com and click on craft outfitting. Also, please share this short video with your crafty friends on social media. And make sure to subscribe so you can be the first to know when new craft outfitting patterns are available.